would complain about that.
All right, well, we'll see. Our next film is called Strapless, a drama about two very different sisters who wind up strapless without support, emotional support, as they move into new phases of their lives. The film begins with the older sister, Blair Brown, an uptight American doctor in England, meeting a mysterious man while on vacation in Europe, and he comes on to her quite strongly.
I thought you were alone.
No, I never said that.
I'd swear you are.
Well, I actually have to see this friend of mine.
You didn't meet me in a church. I mean, I must be trustworthy.
Bruno Ganz plays the mystery man who hides a dark secret about an addiction. He follows her to London, he lavishes her with gifts, and she decides to risk getting involved.
I don't get it. Who are you, Raymond? What do you believe?
I don't believe in sex outside marriage.
Well, you're just going to have to throw your principles away.
The younger sister, a freewheeling sort with casual boyfriends, is played by Bridget Fonda, who decides to have a baby even though the father has left for Argentina.
What are you going to do? I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to give birth.
Her pregnancy seems to liberate the young sister's character even more as she goes on to become a successful clothing designer.
I shouldn't stay up, but they do.
Strapless was written and directed by David Hare, and it is something rare, a film with intelligent women characters who aren't defined by the men in their lives. The focus is on what these two women decide to do with their lives. And so in a quiet way, this modest little film is quite revolutionary and exceedingly well acted.
You know, I agree it's revolutionary. I agree it's exceedingly well acted. I totally disagree with you that these are women who are not defined by the men in their lives. I think they are women who are defined by the men in their lives. She is defined by this man who comes in, makes her pregnant, and leaves, leaving her essentially as a passive victim of that relationship. And Blair Brown is defined by the fact that this stranger, played by Bruno Ganz, comes out of a clear blue sky, emotionally, totally bushwhacks her, leaves, comes back again, does the same thing again, leaves again. She has no idea who he is. She spends most of the movie trying to figure out the real story of Bruno Ganz. And meanwhile, at work, she's involved as the leader of a strike force. The nurses are going to go on strike at the hospital where she works at. And she has all the male doctors who run the hospital, and she has that male patient that she's concerned about. Well, the men are very important in the lives of these women.
I'm not saying they're not important. What I'm saying is that in most pictures, every single thing that the woman does is subservient to the man's decision. The whole picture is about the man. And in this case, obviously she's relating to men, but the focus and the energy is, what is she going to do? Not for them,
okay, well,
for herself.
Okay,
for herself.
That's fair enough. I'll tell you, I like the movie. I probably didn't like it as much as you did because it seemed to me that the entire social and labor union issue was put in by David Hare just because he's concerned about things going on in England right now. There's a real anti-Thatcher subtext here in terms of the labor union that the woman is involved with, and I feel that the real heart of the film involves her relationship with Bruno Ganz and her relationship with her sister, and if it had been just that without the hospital union organizing stuff, it would have been...
You probably don't need it, but I think what the story is about is this woman, 40 years old, taking charge of her life, both risking getting involved with a guy and also taking a risk at work.
Well, it's an interesting film. When we come back, Firebirds.